Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing Rogue Trader. I've finally got my hands on it, and I've got to say, I've played like the first combat encounter, walked around a bit, and done a bit of exploring. It seems really good so far. I'm really psyched to be playing it. I think you're all going to really enjoy it. And without further ado, let's get to it. Actually, one thing I do want to point out that I thought was very funny, in the display settings, for like brightness, contrast, gamma, they use the terms shadows, midtones, and highlights. These are all painting terms for Warhammer. Those are terms they use for miniature painting, which I just think is really fun that they've got that approach for the rendering. I think it's great. I think that's really fun. It's a nice little nod to the subject material. It shows, it shows a love of the subject matter, I think, because that's not a detail that was necessary at all, but they did it, and I think that's nice. So anyway, small touch, I know, but I found it fun. So let's start a new game. We're going to be a female rogue trader. We can't name our character, by the way, and there's no prologue. I imagine the prologue involves someone going, "What is your name?" And then you go, "Oh, I'm Dave," or whatever, and that's why. But there's no prologue in the alpha. This is the alpha, and so I assume that's why. But we will just be called Rogue Trader from now on. So, deal with it, I guess. Okay, so this is essentially the character creation here. So, Sector Coronus expands. Location, the Von Valancius flagship. Material, Dossier, 17 KB, on candidate for succession. Data compiled by Logis Servitor Nosi 84. Start of Dossier. Dossier 17 KB, compiled a process on the order of the most gracious Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius. Candidate satisfies the consanguinity criteria. I think that's about blood, so it's laws of secession, bears kinship to the Lord Captain in the 7th degree from a dynastic offshoot in the Scarus sector. Current location of progenitors not specified. Gender, female. Occupation before requisition. We can start off as, a backstory, I suppose. A void ship captain in the Imperial Navy. This will give us better fellowship and persuasion. A commissar gives us better weapon skill, willpower, and coercion. Leader of an unspecified criminal organization, which will give us better ballistic skill, agility, persuasion, and awareness. So weapon skill refers to melee combat, and ballistic skill is obviously guns and such. So let's see. I think I might go with the Imperial Navy one. Planet of birth and circumstances of early life. We can start on an Imperial world. Volrus 6, markedly loyalist upbringing, developed leadership and diplomatic skills, in-depth knowledge of Imperial history and culture, which will give us fellowship, willpower, law, Imperium, persuasion, and become a leader, which is our career. A feudal world. Fort Kamgarot, primitive cultural environment, notable physical and athletic attributes, heightened awareness of surroundings. This will give us greater strength, toughness, perception, skilled in athletics and awareness, and we become a fighter, which is a career focused on melee combat. Or a forge world, Temur Cryok 5, Adeptus Mechanicus planet, strong intellectual and endurance capabilities, profound knowledge of sacred tech and Medicaid skills. That will make us an adept, focusing on skills and single target damage. So I guess sort of rogue, but like a, Warhammer 40k sort of version of one, I guess. So Rogue Trader from a Forge has greater intelligence, toughness, skilled in tech use, Medicaid, and logic. And then we have Fortress World, Kortsura Major, militaristic plans on the edge of the Imperium, basic combat training with a Medicaid course, and additional instruction in demolition. This will make us a soldier. So Rogue Trader from a Fortress World has greater agility, perception, willpower, skill to demolition, Medicaid, and awareness. So career focused on shooting and positioning, which does sound quite fun actually. I do like that sort of playstyle, but I think we might go Imperial World. I want to become a leader, because I want that good persuasion and everything. And we're going to be a leader, it feels appropriate for the role we'll be filling. So, at the Lord Captain's request, the most significant episode in the candidate's biography that demonstrates her personal qualities and performance under pressure has been highlighted. Based on the collected data, this is a plasma pistol, Rogue Trader's cloak, and a sword. An uprising of the 8th city on the hive world, Castus Prime. An attack by a pirate armada on the Pleasure World, Lacura Cove, or a major criminal incident involving void ships assigned to the Astra Militarum. I don't know, actually. They're all sort of mystery ones. Uprising sounds quite fun. Attack on a pirate armada on a pleasure world sounds interesting too. Let's go with this one. Let's see what that does. The pirate fleet struck after the planet's orbital forces had departed on a secret directive from the Imperial Navy. The limited ground garrison of the Astra Militarum, which had been awaiting deployment, was the world's only line of defense against the rampaging heretics. The candidate's void ship was one of 2 vessels present in the void above Lucara at the time of the pirate fleet's arrival. In the face of overwhelming enemy forces, the candidate recognized the enemy's superiority and executed a tactical retreat, or directed her ship at the fleet in a suicidal attack, giving the remaining Imperial forces time to regroup and prepare to defend the planet. I mean, spoilers, we survived that, so, screw it, yeah. YOLO. Notable qualities exhibited when acting in difficult or ambiguous circumstances: personal valor, readiness to sacrifice personnel, will to survive, exhibited in finding a shuttle and escaping the wrecked ship and dooming everyone else aboard. Classic. The qualities exhibited are deemed to be valuable and desirable. Sacrificing your crew, very valuable. A potential successor to the Lord Captain. The candidate's profile has been deemed worthy of submission to the most gracious Lord Captain for further appraisal, with regard to the requisition of the candidate from her current position to serve the needs of the illustrious Van Valancius dynasty. The final decision rests with the most gracious Lord Captain. End of dossier. Yeah. We've inherited a ship, and we are now a rogue trader. Good times. So, several weeks have passed since the day Theodora von Valancius perished. On that ill-fated date, the rogue traders, that's us, I believe. Or is it? Oh no, that's talking about her, it's just saying what a rogue trader is. Maybe you'd want to know. A unique hereditary Imperial servant assigned with the mission of exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for humankind. The void ship was attacked by a madman, hungry to capture the dynasty's prized possession, the Warrant of Trade. A sacred Imperium relic that certifies the outstanding rights of the rogue trader across the galaxy. So, you know, you can conquer someone and steal their right to trade. It's kind of wild that that's the case. But I think it's pretty classic 40k, isn't it? Fortunately for the thousands of lives who depend on the protection of their mistress, Lady Theodora's heir, and now ruling von Valancius, Lady Rogue Trader, we're Lady Rogue Trader by the way, fought off the villains and protected the dynasty's sacred relic. So presumably this is just the prologue that we can't play, you know, because it's not in the game yet. In her efforts to carry out Lord Theodora's last assignment, Rogue Trader came up against a monstrous plot, which ultimately led to the death of the Imperial world Rykad Minoris. By the God Emperor's will alone did the Rogue Trader escape with her life. When Rykad's star mysteriously vanished, leaving cold darkness in its wake, one last desperate push, and the Imperium's mantle hid the fleeing souls from the pursuing enemy. However, testing trials still lie ahead. After several weeks in the warp, I love that they have a encyclopedia. You can just hover over stuff. It's really nice. They had this in Pathfinder as well. Oh, it's the same developers that made the Pathfinder games, by the way. Which are, you know, they're really good. So, high hopes for this. An alternate dimension of pure energy and madness existing as a mirror to the real space, also known as the Imperium. The Imperium, the Ether, the Sea of Souls, or Warp Space. The Rogue Trader found herself on... It's basically hell. So, the Rogue Trader found herself on the fringes of her trade empire, amidst scattered worlds now lost in the cold void at the whim of the roiling warp. The Lord Captain must forge new routes to planets conquered in the past, and fulfill one of the covenants of the Warrant of Trade, to restore that which has been lost. Cool stuff. And here we are aboard our ship. That's us. You can tell by the fancy cloak. So, Vigdis Suri Otter. Great name. So, hello Vigdis. A bit creepy with the breather mask and the tendrils coming out of their head and everything. Very just classic 40k scary stuff. You know, just good old body horror. Yum. So, Lord Captain, allow me to report. Our journey through the warp is coming to an end. Lady Navigator Orcelio informs me that we have reached the point where we can translate to real space in the Furibundus system. The Lady Navigator and her pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. So, real space. It's the material universe, as opposed to the warp. Vigdis Suri Otter. The Furibundus system is home to Footfall, the massive void void port on the edge of the Cronus Expanse, the wretched hive of villainy trade. Gotta love a wretched hive of villainy, right? Trade in the rogue traders. Intrigues. The only Imperium outpost with a functioning wharf in the Cronus Expanse. The tech priests. An adept of the cult of the machine, responsible for maintaining advanced technologies, are begging you to have mercy on the machines worn down by the warp and allow the servants of the Omnissiah to heal the void ship's wounds in the dock. The prayers and rituals will take a few days, which our astropathic choir will use to establish a connection with the prime worlds of your trade empire, Dargonus, Janus, and Kiava Gamma. So, astropathic, powerful sanctioned psychic person who can send and receive messages through space using their telepathic abilities. Alright, moving on. We have already received a message that was previously adrift in the Imperium, the warp. Master Zachary Weiss has reported receiving an invitation. The Liege of Footfall humbly requests an audience with the rogue trader of the von Valancius dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, "Apparently the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible." Footfall, the place where sin and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Del Rosso will most likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he will be interested in talking to you as well, rogue trader. This is Argenta. She is a sister of battle, member of the Ecclesiarchy, battle nun. Heinrichs, who is a inquisitor, I believe. I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, rogue trader. Once that is done, consider the Lord Inquisitor's task complete. But before I leave you, rogue trader, Heinrich produces a small device wrapped in velvet. I was supposed to deliver this to Lady Theodora, but considering the circumstances, I am giving it to you. This is an elucidator, a sacred machine that can translate the languages of distant and lost worlds to Imperial Gothic. English, in this case. The language of English. This one, the one we're reading. It is even capable of handling Xenos languages, up to a point. There may be flaws in translation, but the overall meaning should be clear. So, are you leaving us, Heinrichs? The arrangements between the Lord Inquisitor and your predecessor was that I be transported to Footfall, and no farther. I dare not take advantage of your generosity and patience any more than I already have, rogue trader. Argenta, who is this Reverend Hieronymus, who wants to talk to me? He is the head of the Drusian mission on Footfall, and one of the most prominent clergymen in the sector. Paying him a visit is a good thing for any loyal servant of the Emperor to do. Argenta lowers her eyelashes. Closed her eyes? Anyway, I assisted his mission before I joined Lady Theodora on her voyage. I need his blessing to accompany the new rogue trader of the von Valancius dynasty. If you wish to have me aboard your voyage ship, I request that we meet with Reverend Hieronymus. Well, alright then. Abelard, you know anything about the Liege of Footfall? Vladimir Tokara is a very peculiar young man. Consider your upcoming conversation a baptism of fire in Footfall's political arena. Such things are not spoken out loud, but Liege Tokara is an appointee of the Kasbalika mission. So what's that then? I have no idea. Let's see. Footfall chapter of the most successful crime syndicate of the Imperium of Man found in the Calixus sector. Well, okay then. Fair enough. The largest robber baron crime syndicate in the Calixus sector. They specialize in the cold trade, the buying and selling of all kinds of Xenos rubbish. So it's illegal alien trade. Footfall was previously run by a liege who did business with several criminal factions at once, but he suffered an accident. The reins of power were picked up by Vladimir Tokara, whose appointment benefits not only the Kasbalika, but also their most powerful ally in the Cronus Expanse, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. Vladimir is a slippery yet very cautious fellow. He does not usually beat around the bush and does not play mind games. Perhaps more importantly, he is no fool. Fools do not rise this high in I keep wanting to say Casablancan. You know what? Screw it. It's the Casablancan now. In the Casablancan hierarchy. Keep all this in mind. You're a rogue trader. You stand above him in status and wield considerable power. Having said that, history has seen cases where Casablancan barons cross swords with rogue traders and emerge victorious. Do not forget that, and remain vigilant. And Pascal here, who is a tech priest of some kind. The Casablanca, vile tech thieves. Pascal's voice barks out the last words like a profanity. Was the liege want to see me so badly? Tell the lady navigator. Yeah, let's go. Let's find out about the place by going there. Vigdis begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift to real space, and measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. One more thing, Lord Captain. Not one at the station knows about Lady Theodora's demise and you inheriting the title. Liege Takaro will be informed. It is required so that we can use the dock, and besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the rogue trader, and he will not meet an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still the matter of announcing your arrival. You can either arrive on the station with the proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit it incognito. Why do you and the Inquisitor have the exact same voice, Vigdis? It's a bit sussy. I'm not gonna lie. You could put on an accent or something, Vigdis. Anyway, tell me in detail how these choices will benefit me. I've decided. Tell the Liege I will arrive incognito, or no, I have decided that they will know who I am. Okay, we want to go in with all the pomp. Although I want to actually see what they would say about this. Tell me in detail how these choices will benefit me. According to Footfall's unwritten laws, rogue traders enjoy special privileges that exceed even the power of the Liege. However, not everybody chooses to take advantage of them. Depending on the situation, arriving incognito will give you more room for maneuver, while an official visit will allow you to directly intervene in local affairs. I shall explain, if you do not mind. According to the unwritten rule, every rogue trader arriving at the station has a right to veto any of the Liege's decisions. But there is a catch. The Kronos Expanse is home to several influential rogue trader dynasties. The Footfall is where their interests intersect. Of course, that does not prevent certain persons, namely Caligos Winterscale, from subtly pulling on the strings at Footfall. If you, as a new rogue trader, start your career with an official landing and a parade in your honor, the other dynasties may see this as a gesture, as the newcomer challenging their spheres of influence. I do not see that as a bad thing, necessarily. Old Man Winterscale may take a slight offense. Cordo will be put on her guard, but you have just risen to prominence, and most people in the Kronos Expanse have not even heard about Lady Theodora's departure yet. It must be made clear that the banner of Von Valencia soars as high as ever. If I may, I would recommend arriving incognito. You'll have plenty of I'm doing the same voice as the guy again. I'm just getting in the habit of using that voice now. If I may, I would understand arriving incognito. You'll have plenty of opportunities to savor the sweetness and the burden of power, but right now is the last time you can take refuge in obscurity. This way, your arrival will not draw too much attention, and the people will treat you as a person and not the almighty sovereign anointed by the Emperor. It could turn some situations to your advantage. I have decided. Tell the... Yeah, official. I'm going official. Alright, pomp. All the pomp and ceremony that I deserve, because I'm great. Because it's my birthright. It will be done, Lord Captain. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, Vigdis, I will use the map. So, oh. Can we look at more of the ship? Use the map, I just immediately run away. Okay, like, this is very special. I like that we have a big chandelier. I am going to go back and actually get on with things, though. I just wanted to see where that led. Oh, if you hold tab, by the way, you can see stuff. Wow. Love how big this thing is. There are thousands of people serving aboard this ship, by the way. These are not small ships. You know, we are not some, like, you know, petty little band of space sailors. No. We inherited something pretty ridiculous. You know, we basically inherited an empire. So, Footfall is over here. This is our ship. Just avoiding some asteroids, I think. Alright, so this is the map of Footfall. You can see all of its main areas. It's all just in orbit. Like, these are all in space, all these different buildings, because, you know, 40k. And yes, that is a giant statue of the Emperor. Just normal stuff. So, Void Dock Alpha Row. And yep, we have everyone in our party, including her we've never seen, and her neither. We'll meet them soon. the statue through the window. Very cool. I love how they play with scale, just immediately. Like, everything has to be, like, you know, turned up to 11 with 40k. And they do a good job of that, while also, like, keeping it fairly grounded, that, like, you know, you're playing as an individual, not an army. So, Lee's representative. The welcome procession is not particularly long, but it does attract attention. Everyone is dressed in their finest apparel. Every button gleaming. Standing in front of the others is a woman with clearly expensive implants. Which sounds a bit suspect, but it means the mechanical or electronic, cybernetic substitution for biological limbs or organs. So get your minds out of the gutter. She bows in a solemn courtesy. Rogue trader, Footfall welcomes you. On behalf of the liege, Lord Vladim Tokara, allow me to express my joy at your arrival. The liege awaits you at his residence, but should you have other business to conduct on the station, I will be happy to serve as your guide. Cassia's lips curl slightly. Here's Cassia, who we now know is called Cassia. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-coloured scattering of words and welcome, far less appealing hues lurk, murky and diluted. The look of someone accustomed to lying and hiding their intentions. And Adira, the other one we hadn't met yet. Adira jerks her head, shakes it, and hisses through her teeth. Someone's coming, and they're coming for us. Watch out, Lord Captain. Abelard sighs and casually places his hand on his weapon. This isn't his first rodeo, okay, guys? Address Adira. Who's coming? Judging by the voices, there's a lot of them. Angry. They've got teeth, but they aren't that sharp. Their strength is in their numbers. So she's our Psyker, by the way. And Cassia, have I already forgotten her name? Her name's Cassia, right? Anyway, I think the other one, she's our Navigator. So technically another Psyker, but she specialises in navigating our ship, getting us through the warp. Whereas this one specialises in blasting people with lightning. As you'll soon see. It's basically my favourite thing to do in this game. Lee's representative. Pray, what are you talking about? What could you mean by such a cryptid pronoun? Blah, blah, blah. Pew, pew, pew. Hey, newcomers, how's this for a warm welcome? Welcome to Football, suckers! That's what pirates sound like. Or gang members or something. So we're in combat. We are getting shot. You'll notice there are a lot of bad guys running around. We have our initiative tracker on the left of the screen. And it is our tech priest, Pascal, to go first. So what is nice is you can see a sort of a preview of who you can attack. The yellow shows that they're behind cover, which is nice. Green, nice clear shot. So I like that it gives you that information. So, you know, you can get a good idea of what's going on. I think we might just move back here. Because I have a plan. So we have machine spirit. So, alright, basics. You'll notice the little yellow pips on the side of all of these. That responds to our AP. Everyone starts with 4 AP. I think you can get more or less AP as you level or get different skills or equipment or things. I think that might change, but you can see how much AP they have anyway. And movement points are on the other side. You have to move before you do any actions or you can't move. We also have our attacks. So all the ones on the left are basically granted to us by the equipment we have equipped. And the stuff on the right is the skills that we have picked up. So these are the things that they can do innately. These are equipment based. So all of our guns are over here, and the guns will have different firing modes, like this plasma overcharge AoE attack. Yep, we're probably going to want to use that. So also we have a few other bits and bobs. So we can like ignore enemies. Armor is that? Like a single shot melee attack against studied enemy. Also, we have to study enemies. Here, machine spirit communication heals the machine spirit so we can reduce recoil for folks, which I think I will do because that'll give it to everybody. This should hopefully make everyone a bit more accurate with successive attacks. I think. I don't actually know how recoil works yet, but it seems like a good thing. We can also study enemies for weaknesses. We can study their defenses, which helps against studied enemies. So a lot of... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, honestly, how all of this stacks up, because I don't know all of the stats yet. But there's a lot of sort of combos you can put together. So, oh, you know what? Who can I reach? Yeah, I think I have to shoot these guys. I was hoping I could shoot into the middle of them. But I can at least hit these two with a plasma shot. So there we go, big damage. That guy's just meat now. And, oh, he's also meat now. Sorry, I thought he was still stood up. He is not. Alright, that'll do. He's got a shotgun, I think. Ooh, okay, that's some big damage we've taken. So, you know, this was probably because we decided to announce our arrival. But that's okay. That's okay. These people, they haven't been given their position, you know, by the Emperor's will. So, you know, it's feeble at best. So now we have Idira. So she is a psyker. She can shoot lightning, or she can shoot people with guns, which is, you know, less interesting. But she does have a sniper rifle, which is quite cool. If I move here, I can shoot at these guys. You can turn the camera with Q and E, by the way.
What is this foreboding?
Alright, lightning. So it says 0%, but actually means 100%, because this can't miss. But it's lightning, okay? We have lightning.
Was that you? Or...
It's good. It's pretty good. I love it. So there we go. That counts as an attack, so we don't get to then shoot people, which is a bit sad, but it is what it is. I'd say she's done a good job. Now, Argenta, our sister of battle, she's nuts. She's nuts good. She can really rack up a lot of damage quickly. I've found. So let's see. Who do I want to line up? They're a bit too far away still. So I'll let them get closer before I make them my victims. So I'm going to move out here. We won't have cover from everybody, but that's fine. She's a big girl. So, if we do shot on the run, our next attack will cost 1 less action point, and it won't count as a limit towards... it won't count towards their attack limit. So usually if you attack, that's it. You attack once and that's your attack. Done. Right? But with this, it means you can attack multiple times, provided you still have the AP. So there we go. Now I can shoot with this. And this is a burst fire. Oh my god, really? You're not in range? Okay, I'll have to move again then. I guess we're going to move completely out of cover. But it won't matter, because most people will be dead. So, burst fire. So you can see the red, when you attack, is where you are attacking, but there's a chance for it to go into the orange, which is rather nice. So let's start shooting. Pretty damn good. And that wasn't all of our shooting done. So, any other people lined up nicely for us? No, I guess I'll just do a single shot then. So there is ammunition. We have 21 out of 24 shots, so it's still a lot of shots. Same odds to hit both of these. So I guess I'll go for the closer one. There we go. She's killed 3 people already. Lovely. We can also get a dash, which will allow us to move again, which means I could move into cover, actually. So let's do that too. Oh, dash puts you in a straight line. We hit something, so we stop moving. That's fine, though. And then we can gain another action point, so we can dash again, but we don't need to do that. Oh, also, you can go to their equipment screens, whatever you like. So what is really nice, it does characteristics and skills out of 100. So it's the same as the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, like, stats, the way it does that. I've only ever played the fantasy version, so I have no idea what edition this follows, but I assume both first, second, and fourth editions all do the same, you know, with their stats. But anyway, we'll see. So yeah, she's done. Got more thugs moving up. And they're all nice and clustered, so plenty of ways that we can do them harm. Nice AoE abilities. They do have their leader up here as well. Oh. Also, you guys might be familiar with these barrels and these crates as terrain pieces. That's some of the Games Workshop scatter terrain you could buy. They come with the big cargo containers, which... There's one right there. But yeah, I love that that's just like canon. that you can't have a cargo container in any Warhammer game without it looking like that now. It's great. So we're going to move Cassia. Now what can she do? She can stare at people to stun a lot of people. I think we can just sort of murder like a lunatic though. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get behind cover. She's very flimsy. And we are going to use... Is it go, go, go? That moves everybody. I think it's this one. Bring it down. Yep, bonus turn, no movement points. But they gain another action point. I don't know if that would block line of sight from her to there. I think it might, though. I think that might. But I'm going to try it. She can always shoot that guy instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to say bring it down. Alright, so we're going to get action points equal to... Oh. Target's too far. Ah, okay, fine. I'll give it to him then.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Alright, Pascal. Do you want to shoot someone again? I mean, it's not great odds. I suppose you could use this. Flash of Insight? Oh, so this is a heroic act, by the way. The ones with the yellow backgrounds are heroic acts. So basically, if you fill up your momentum, anytime you attack anyone, hit anyone, momentum goes up. And I think if you get hit, momentum goes down. Same happens with the enemies. But if you get a bunch of consecutive hits, your momentum goes up, and then you can do some special abilities. But also, if it's below this one, there are, was it Desperate Measures, which are also really good. Often have a downside, but they can get you out of a bind. So it's sort of like a, well, it's a desperate measure. So depending on what momentum is, if it's really low, you can sort of get a comeback, but at a potential cost. Or you can go and get like a super good move. We can actually use a precision strike. Is this going to do more... It's going to be more accurate. So Righteous Fury, I think, is the equivalent of a critical hit. Oh, I can't hit them, apparently. Oh, hang on. Precision strike, second weapon. Alright, I guess I just need to shoot someone then. Let's try it. Yeah, I don't know what weapons that was. I don't know if it's his... I don't know if precision strikes are his... Yeah, I don't know if that's ranged or not. Not sure. I mean, it seems two different weapons. It doesn't signify which ones are ranged and which ones aren't, though. 1 cell range, 20 cell range. Oh, so that's the... Yeah, okay, I don't know why. I guess I need line of sight. Clear line of sight, and I guess that cover means I don't. So it's her turn again. So we can use objective secured, which is very fun. So basically, because she's a leader, she counts as a leader, she gets this objective secured. Everyone remembers OBSEC from tabletop, I'm sure, you know, if that's something you play. But this defines an area that needs to be captured in 1 turn. Okay, so basically you place this down, right, give it a little area, so we could put it over here. And now any attack on these guys, the first attack on any of these people, it will basically get reimbursed that attack, so we can attack a follow-up against any of these targets. Which is very, very cool. So can try and shoot that guy, you can try and shoot him. Try and shoot just about anyone, actually. Let's just shoot her. So that was a heroic act, so our momentum went down accordingly. She has no AP anymore, so yes, she gets reimbursed the, you know, 1 attack per turn thing, but not the AP. So it is finally Rogue Trader's turn. That's us, we're Rogue Trader. I know, it's catchy. We can also use Bring It Down to give people an additional attack, which I think I will. And I'll give one to Adira. Yeah. Alright, Adira. Can you lightning someone? Ooh, they're armoured, so they're going to be a little hard to take down. Could use Psychic Shriek. Attacks creature by focusing all of her will behind 1 massive Psychic Shriek. Psychic willpower bonus and psi rating gets added. What is a psi rating? I wonder. That's a dodge. Willpower, the bonus is 4, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it takes the 10's value, just like in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. And I am... Yeah, I'm not seeing her psychic rating. Not sure. Not sure about that one, so it could do any amount of damage. I could study some defenses, precision shot. Yeah, I'm just going to lightning strike this guy. We might hit him too. He might be within range. Not sure. Oh, it does do friendly fire, so you got to be careful on that. She has a heroic action that doesn't do friendly fire, which is very, very cool. It's the same ability, but, you know, you can shoot into a gaggle of your own people. But yeah, I didn't know she'd hit herself. That's fine. Not really a problem. So, could Plasma overcharge this guy? So we hit all of them. That does sound like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to move up so we can be more accurate. So, Plasma overcharge. Nice. Actually knocked her back. So that was all of her AP, sadly. And Abelard is a melee fighter. So I'm going to push him into here. He might suffer an attack of opportunity. Nope, he's still within range. And then we can do a power swing. So you hit everyone within range. And we certainly did. Hell yeah. So there goes another guy. He doesn't have a gun. He just has this this power ball, which is very, very cool. He can do some other bits and bobs, though. He can do a taunting scream. Oh, he can charge, which is something. There we go. Good. Not sure what that did. Forceful strike he could do as well. Superior vigilance seems cool. It lets you counterattack when you get attacked. And it makes you better at dodging. That's really cool. I like that. No taunting scream I can't reach with, so I guess his turn is over. Their leader is running for it. I do not blame them whatsoever. Ow. Rude. Alright, Pascal. Let's move you up here. Okay, we're going to move you up here. And you are going to strike them. Oh, also there is a reload button. So this has... Nice. That has really good armor penetration. So really useful against these armored folks. Now... I mean, I think we're done, actually. I think we're done with him already. Not a complicated turn for him. Doesn't need to be. Good job, Pascal. So, Adira. Oh yeah, there's the heroic action lightning. Yeah. It's up better range as well. Chains up to 6 targets. 20 damage. Ooh. Marvellous. But yeah, I'm not sure it, I'm not sure it necessarily chains any further, but yeah, it only hit the one. That's fine, we did good damage. Now you can move up here. Then we'll use that ability, Shot on the Run, so you can shoot a couple of them. Oh, come on. Alright, let's just shoot 3 times then. Nice. So, we took them out. We can immediately restore AP and remove cooldowns on currently wielded weapon. So we can just sort of keep going, basically. So let's do just that.
I'll do it.
Nice. Oh. What happened there? Was he holding like a poison grenade or something? That's interesting. So we can shoot again. Oh, can't move, but it's okay. I can dash. Oh, really? Okay, let's do the second wind, so that way we get dash back again. It is insane how much he can move. Okay, there we go. We've got line of sight now. Now you can shoot. Miss? For some reason we can shoot again. I think this is actually bugged, by the way. I think you're only supposed to get 1 free shot, but it seems to just make it that you can shoot forever. But maybe I just, you know, skimmed the reading and missed it. Can you shoot through this? Ah, that's a shame. I thought maybe we'd destroy the cover and we'd be able to keep going. I'm happy just to keep shooting. We're not paying for the bullets, so it doesn't really matter. Oh.
If I may.
Apparently she can shoot through that. That's nice to know. And now let's give you another turn.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Come on, 48% chance. Damn. Last guy, that guy. The last one. So nothing else is going to work. We'll just go. Okay. Move over here. And see if we can't just shoot them. Another miss. Alright. Come on, Adelard. Sure is. Now, can you charge? I mean, yes, but not enough to reach. Alright, shout at this man. That was forceful strike, not forceful shout. Whoops. What was I thinking of? Didn't you ever shout? Yeah, taunting scream. That's what I meant to use. Well, I'm silly. Endure damage. So this button's really nice. It puts up his deflection up by 2, essentially. Oh wait, no, his toughness bonus divided by 2. What's his toughness bonus? 5. So, okay, so 2. I don't know if it rounds up, so 2 or 3. Extra deflection, which is nice. Okay. Go up here, and you can use your force halberd or whatever it is. What actually is this? It's a Omniscient Axe. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm not quite sure why it showed. Oh, was that someone else arriving? Okay, yeah, okay, that's another ship arriving, someone else. I was very confused. It looked like it's just repeating what was happening before. And that black screen we'll assume is normal. This isn't alpha, guys. So, the shivering young servant looks up at you with horror in his eyes. Emperor, protect me. They killed. Every time I warn them, and they all there. And then they go all, dear Emperor, Lord and Saviour, how could this have happened? Who could have thought? Idira spits on the ground in annoyance. Yeah, bloody poor people getting shot. Idiots. So anyway, gang of... I'm sorry, we're playing a bunch of space dicks, okay? Just, you know. So, I can say a gang of puny thugs attack me. Fear not, young man. Stop quivering, unwashed worm. Yeah, alright, we're just going to be a total... A total and utter one. Stop quivering, unwashed worm, and answer me. Who would dare to attempt such an outrageous attack? Your ladyship, those guys were Anvers. Not to be confused with Avengers, very different. They're a gang. They're the worst, I'm telling you. They're scared of no one, not even Liege Vladim. He glances around like he's expecting more bandits to appear. Does this kind of thing happen often around here? Shooting, yes. Attacks on nobles, not very often. Unless it's the Anvers. They're vicious. Not a week goes by without them killing and gutting somebody. They're wicked. Heretics. Shaggy. Scooby. They respect nothing. They follow no rules. Go and report this to the Liege. Yes, I'm sorry, your ladyship. I'll go and report to the Liege. They killed her. They killed my lady. Oh, this is terrible. Bye. Alright then. So, let's loot. Looting is great in this game. Because, like, this is obnoxious, right? This is obnoxious. This is what Pathfinder was like. You just have a million items. It's like, come on, I don't want a million items. This is ridiculous. The flak armor is slightly better than the Enforcer Light Carapace, but I don't think it looks as good, so I might just leave it. No, I'll take a couple just in case. But what you can do is pack as cargo. Because, you know, we're a trader, right? You know, that's the thing about us. But we're not just selling individual things. No. We sell in bulk. So we pack as cargo. And now, if we go to our inventory, can I see my cargo here? No. Apparently not. Okay, I thought I'd be able to check in here. You can see it when you're in like a selling, you know, like a vendor screen. But it's really good. Basically, just as you collect random rubbish, it just goes into a container, and depending on how much random rubbish you get, it fills up the container, and when it gets to 100%, you can sell a container's worth of crap. It's really good. I love that approach. Oh, chainsword, we absolutely won. And a stub carbine. I mean, it has slightly better armor penetration than the sword, but I mean, it doesn't seem great. I'll take it anyway. And knuckle dusters. Oh, that's really fun. That's just like a piece of equipment. It's not a weapon. These knuckle dusters grant the wearer +5 bonus to coercion tests. So I think we'll wear that. Right, let's pack his cargo, everything else. Let's give her knuckle dusters, so she can be more coercive. And we're going to give them the chainsword as well. If you compare the chainsword to the sword that we have equipped, it does more damage, has better penetration, so it ignores more armor, basically. And everything else is the same. So it's just better. It's just a flat upgrade. I just took this off their leader. There we go. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, we're warhamming now. Okay, what else we got? So let's... Oh, there's some goods. So, a leaflet. We need no rules or leaders. We are not an organization. We are a force of nature. ANV. So the Anvers. They are of ANV, which presumably stands for something. Though I don't know what yet. Not a clue. So, Opticon 22. The tall, hunched tech priest stares at you unblinkingly, his gaunt face a sickly green hue, while his augments show signs of combat damage and are plated in black chromium, giving him a general air of lugubriousness. Initiating identification procedure. This unit is defined as Logis Opticon 22 and is a fully authorized representative, structural part of the Cognizant Fleet and the Brotherhood of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Access has been granted to the following options: information exchange, strengthening of diplomatic links, trade deals, donations. Initiating official greeting procedure for esteemed, high-value visitors. Glory, success to House von Valancius. A binary aria begins to flow from the scratched vox attached to the tech priest's chest. Requesting information exchange regarding contractual obligation, logisticar theater. Pascal and Opticon 22 exchange glances. Ooh. Do I sense a bit of sexual tension in the air? And a short series of binary signals before bowing their heads in satisfaction. Oh, yes it was. Opticon 22's head bows noticeably lower than Pascal's. That's right, showing us our due reverence. Let's see. I seek the friendship of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Brotherhood of the Adeptus Mechanicus is interested in, considers expeditious cooperation with rogue traders. Under the terms of the Treaty of Mars, it is willing to provide services to the von Valancius dynasty. The priority of service tasks can be raised if diplomatic links are strengthened. The Cognizance Fleet will be glad alternative available to accept 1. Any samples of sacred technology, 2. Samples of profane xenotech, 3. Miscellaneous items. So basically, technology, alien technology, and everything else. Cool. Reminder, storage, study, and or disposal of aforementioned objects in the exception of 3 miscellaneous items is a preferential right of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Okay, well we can hunt down things. Some of this is still in, I think, Polish? I think LCAT games are Polish? Possibly? Not sure. But I think I saw that somewhere. Anyway, there's 2 languages. Oh, they might be Czech, actually. They use Cyrillic alphabet? I don't know. I can't remember where LCAT games are from. Anyway, the Explorator Fleet will also accept information about planets in the Corona's expanse that have not been previously recorded in the planetary register. Okay, well, you're very tiresome. And I can sense everyone just leaving this video for me having to go through this awful dialogue. I hate this kind of dialogue where it's just like so techie and like it's very flavorful but also so tedious. You know, it's nice if they could just talk like a human being, but I guess that would, you know, go against the point of the, you know, the transhumanism and all the rest of it. But anyway, I want to make a trade deal. So here we go. This is what I want to see. So in the cargo hold, you can see we have a bunch of stuff that is full. So you can have a look to see what's in each container. And yeah, so you get full containers and you can sell them for RP, which is one of our currencies. It's something. I don't know, I have no idea what it stands for. I'm assuming requisition points we'll go with, because there's also here PF, which is profit factor. So this recovers in time. So basically this is just sort of like your general like income, your general wealth. So you can just throw this at things, which is really fun. I think it's a really fun idea. So here you can see we have some pneumo boots that I saw the first time I looked in here that I really like. This decreases the AP cost of the charge ability by 1, which I'm pretty sure the charge ability only costs 1, which basically means that our melee guy will get a free movement, which I think is really cool. So we're going to buy that. Good, isn't it? We have a bunch of other nonsense, like we have this mobile mining outpost. I mean, 10 of them, apparently. Like, I don't really know what that is, but I have a feeling they're going to be useful, so I'm going to take one anyway. Multi-keys, universal lock-picking tools also sound like they'd be incredibly useful. A lot of this stuff sounds incredibly useful. Like a precise las gun. That might be good. No armor penetration, though. But yeah, some cool stuff. And a better auto pistol. Doesn't seem to do a huge amount of damage, but the fact that it has a pistol burst means you can shoot like 3 times in a single turn, which is kind of nice. So there's some cool stuff. Anyway, so what is Logisticar Thieves, eh? You know what? He's just installed a new voice chip just while we were trading, which is really convenient. Under the contractual obligation in question, whatever, Terran cycles ago, okay, hang on. 34... Terran... That's years, so 34 years ago. Okay. Ago, the Explorator Cognizance Fleet received from representative us, basically, a hive-grade, a volume of high-grade promethium. So basically, we sold them a bunch of stuff 30 years ago. Received it and then didn't pay. Compensate, remunerate, settle accounts. Should I go on, or is that enough synonyms? Stipulated payment. Yeah, we can pay you, basically. Let's just go with that. You waited 30 years to pay up. Theodora worked with you. What payment can I expect? Or I can confirm I am willing to accept payment, or no payment is needed. Consider the Promethean my gift, and assign my hope for collaboration in the future. Yeah, this deal was to our predecessor. So I like the idea of earning some clout as an individual with the Mechanicus. Because they can provide us with some pretty nifty stuff, you know? They do supply all of the armies of the Imperium with all of their technology, so, you know. The request is accepted, the contractual obligation, Logistical Theta is concluded. Brilliant. Alright, that'll do. Bye. I'm not going to go through all the dialogue. I find games like this, it's more fun just to go through the dialogue that I'm actually interested in, or I think is, like, you know, pertinent. Container is labelled Destination Janus. It is covered in dust. I spent a long time at the docks. Okay, so things aren't really moving right now, it would seem. Some cyber cryptors and broken combi tools. Alright, cargo it is. What's this? Walls of the container have rusted, its contents rotted away. Situation is not uncommon for shipments trying to pass through Imperial customs. Yeah, all the bureaucracy. Get in the way. Small altar depicting the Saints of the Imperium. Oh, I think we failed the law check, so we don't know any specifics. Life of Saint Drusus, Volume 3. Drusus, maybe? This is also a terrain piece, I think, isn't it? Okay. Some bureaucrats. Customs over here. Some more goods. Just nab everything, I suppose. Primitive tools. Alright. It's all going to the cargo. It's all our cargo now. Alright, so that's kind of nice that we can go to the Shadow Quarters as well. I'm not sure why we would do that, but let's go to the atrium. So one thing that I find is a bit of a pet peeve of mine, in literally every game ever, any time you have a lot of text, well, any amount of text on a loading screen, there should be a continue button. It's like the one time that I may have actually had time to read this, huh? Yeah, maybe. But usually when I'm playing games like this, I try and read the text on loading screens, and it goes straight by me because, you know, the game loads too quickly. These columns appeared here back when the station was founded, when it was assumed that Footfall would become a wondrous palace in the stars. The heart of Footfall is a colossal statue of the Emperor carved from a single asteroid. Also, look at this guy. Look at him go. Yeah, these boxes are far too big for people to carry. Break your back for the Emperor. Oh, what's going on here? I'm telling you, they're stricken with plague. The whole ship is plagued. The buzzing crowd has closed in on several harried-looking people. Some of their faces are smeared with fresh blood. The anger cries and twisted faces leave no doubt. A massacre is about to take place. Just cut their throats already. What were they thinking letting that ship dock at footfall? They're all stricken. No, no cutting. We get their blood on us, we'll all be tainted too. Better burn them. Here's Hieronymus Doloroso, which is the reverend that not Cassia, who was it? I can't remember a flippant name. Anyway, our sister of battle mentioned it. Anyway, be quiet, you scoundrel! A priest, clad in a simple black raiment and wielding a staff, cuts through the crowd like a battleship crossing the sky. You dare pass judgment on others? What arrogance to think you have the right! Argenta, that's the one. Argenta stares at the sight of the elderly priest. That's Reverend Hieronymus. I'm surprised he's decided to intervene in a street squabble. Let's also intervene in a street squabble. I'm not going to be upstaged by some reverend, alright? I'm going to stick my nose in harder than he can. Loser. So, who are you supposed to be? I'm a rogue trader. Or a concerned citizen, an armed one. I suggest you think before giving me lip. I mean, that's quite nice too. Nah, rogue trader. The rabble-roused expression changes completely and he makes a clumsy attempt at a bow, then crumples to his knees. Your ladyship, I'm sorry. Sorry for not recognising you. You see, it's just that it's your first time on footfall and we didn't know. We were just rooting out heresy here. These scrawny ones, they're from a ship that came from the bowels of the Coronis Expanse. They got plagued there, and mutants. And now they're spreading that rot everywhere, that taint. They're all... Silence! The priest, who has remained silent up to now, raises his staff. he can only shout things that he's been doing recently. You must be completely out of your minds. A band of woefully dim-witted sinners who think themselves bringers of justice. Who are you to pass judgment on anyone? All you ought to be doing is suffering and repenting until the end of your days. Oh, what's so wrong about that, Reverend? We just want to put these heretics to death. We just want to do some mob justice. What's the harm? We're not heretics. The haggard man's on the verge of tears. We're refugees. I swear it on the Golden Throne. We served the Imperium faithfully until they hung us up to dry. Where were the protectors that were meant to shield the lands of humanity from nightmares? Traitors. Traitors and heretics, a lot of them. A murmur runs through the crowd. The people gawk at you, at the priest and the wretched group huddling in the centre. How tiring. The motley sea of colours that fills this restless crowd is hard on the eyes. So many hues, but most of them are acid yellow streaks of fear, their red buds swelling, ready to burst, and paint all who are gathered here. Cassie looks at the crowd of troublemakers warily, and they shudder at the very sight of her. As for the hearts of those who have been forced to defend themselves, they are shrouded in purplish black grief, but their words are as transparent as the ice that lies at the top of a glacier. But commoners are always deaf to others' suffering, for such is their nature. Interfering in their affairs is hardly worthy of you or me, rogue trader. So, we've got a few bits and bobs to do, that we can do. Going to address the refugees, saying those are serious accusations you're spouting. Hope you have proof. I can say, I am the mistress of Kiava Gamma, and if these people are my subjects, then I am the only one who can decide what to do with them. I command the onlookers to dispense. As for the rest of you, go to the docks and await further instructions. Or I can say, all onlookers are to return to their homes immediately. The refugees and go to Dock Alpha Row. I will speak to you later. Comply or face the consequences. So that's coercion. Or I can noble the rabble-rousers and say these people before you insulted those instated by the throne and deserve death. No, we are going to... I mean, these are apparently my subjects. So, which is interesting actually, because I presume it means that we'll be headed to that planet at some point and have to deal with whatever plague and nonsense is going on. Because we have been in the warp for quite some time, so who knows what has happened since, you know. So I think I'll tell them to go. You know what? No, I'm gonna use my clout. You know. Hey, you lot heard what the ladyship said? Get to the docks. The rabble-rouser turns to you and bows deeply. Don't you worry, none, your ladyship. We'll go with these people. We'll watch them and make sure they keep their traps shut about you. Actually, I don't want them to. Well, alright, fine. Hello, Anonymous. Anonymous Doloroso. The arrogance and self-righteousness of a sinner. The priest shakes his head disapprovingly. Then his eyes shift to you. I am the Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, head of the Drusian mission here on Footfall. I thank you for stepping in. Please come see me when you have the time. We can talk then. Bye, Hieronymus. You don't really look like your picture. Okay, there we go. I was wondering how long it's going to make us watch him.
Stand in my way.
A stall selling old knickknacks for everyday needs. I need those every day. We should get some. Some goods up here.
Follow my lead.
I'm not really sure where we're going. Just nicking stuff, basically. A machine right set. Interesting. Set of sacred oils and cogitograms that can appease the keeper of any technology. The rest can be cargo. Ooh, what's down there? The sight of this cogitator would be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning slightly to one side, grimy, covered in scrawled drawings, with frivolous writing scratched here and there on the casing. Several keys are missing, and the rest are coated with dust. Pascal's respirator lets out a mournful hiss before he says grimly, "The right of operation has been repeatedly and blasphemously violated, requesting the identification and punishment of the sinful acolyte entrusted with caring for the spirit of this machine." Could try to repair it, I suppose. Oh, he succeeded. After a series of creaks and groans, the cogitator's dusty screen lights up, onto several lines of text, section headings. Oh. Praise the Omnissiah, the machine spirit of this cogitator is aggrieved but willing to serve. Accompanied by crackling of the binary prayer, Pascal's mechadendrites gently place a couple of keys lying on the floor back into place. Tentacle light, robotic arm, prosthetic, surgically attached to the spine. Ugh. So, select the section titled Welcome. Screen flickers a few times before revealing to the world a text in low Gothic. So there's high Gothic and low Gothic, so it's sort of like fancy language and peasant language, you know? Which, I mean, we have the same, you know, we have the same in English, you know, you have the whole, one must, and gotta do stuff. I don't know, it's an impression of how people might talk. You're welcome. Anyway, in the name of the founder of Footfall Station, conqueror of stars, builder of outposts, and noblest rogue trader, Parsimus Duane, and on behalf of all his descendants, I welcome you. This cogitator was installed on the order of the illustrious Parsimus, so that the needy may tap into the flow of his wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections and choose what you wish to know. Parsimus Duane? I never heard of such a rogue trader house. Whoever this Parsimus was, he sure thought big. Lord Captain Parsimus Duane, one of the trailblazers of the Coronas, and this station's founder. I've read about his great deeds. Lord Duane was once a colonel of the Astra Militarum, but by his will later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Coronas expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades, and Lord Parsimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned it into a bastion of humanity we know today. One that is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Pleased with herself, Cassia nods slightly to let everyone know that the lecture is over. Aww. She reminds me a bit of the navigator from the Eisenhorn books. So select the section titled About Footfall. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great Parsimus Duane as a palace in the stars, as majestic as the spirit and mind of its creator. As the year of this cogitator's installment, merely a small fraction of the great Parsimus designs has yet to be made a reality, but already their audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall has become the gateway to the savage and barely explored Coronis Expanse, a scattered, partly explored region on the frontier of the Imperium, full of fearsome Xenos, treasures, heathen worlds, and the echoes of ancient doom. A foothold for future conquest by the Imperium and the noble Parsimus Duane, who acts as the Emperor's will. The cogitator wheezes and blinks, clearly trying to shut down. Oh no, emergency repair? Phew, cogitator whirs and the screen turns back on. One of the first structures on Footfall was the colossal statue of the Emperor. A whole asteroid was used for the creation of this sculpture, but even its titanic proportions cannot convey the awe that every faithful servant of the Imperium feels before the Master. The statue is the centre of Footfall in the same way that the Emperor is the centre and heart of the Imperium. So much bluster, it's amazing. As construction progresses, new, smaller asteroids are being attached to the statue, their surface serving as a foundation for glorious palaces and temples, and their inner tunnels as home for the commoners and rabble. Alright, Parsimus Duane's design. Cogitator flickers and grunts before displaying a tapestry of text. The great Parsimus Duane intends to conquer the Coronis Expanse and build the most grandiose structures which will shine through... I say grandiose. I apparently have had a stroke. Anyway, which will shine through the ages, praising the names of its creator and descendants. Footfall, the place in the palace in the stars, the glory of the great Parsimus's deeds will live on throughout the ages and his grand designs. The cogitator hisses and grunts as it tries to clean its insides by spewing out dust and detritus through its cracks. Cogitator hisses for a while and the screen flickers and once more shows the words, "The great Parsimus Duane intends to conquer." Pascal's vox wheezes mournfully. The spirit of this machine is enraged and will perform its function no more. I will see to it the profaners responsible for its maintenance are marked for servo penance. Oh god. We're about to murder the IT guys, huh? There's some Imperium lore up here. Statue undoubtedly depicts Parsimus Duane, the legendary rogue trader who founded football. Football. This guy founded football. Yeah, it's coming home. This is home. People say football's coming home, they mean this place. Yeah, true story. In this mishmash of devices and cables, you notice equipment from totally different eras, some ancient, some merely old, and others tossed together in more recent years. One day I'll be able to actually read one of these things before they disappear. So there's an athletics test over here to climb over this way. I mean, I could just go around this way, I think, but let's test this anyway.
Would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Oh, okay, well... Oh! Interesting. Oh my god, you can use melter charges to open... I assume that would break anything that's in it. I don't know if we have any items that we can use. Be blessed, children of terror, and may the Emperor's light never forsake you. Like pretty flowers overgrown with weeds, the halls of Footfall's former palaces and temples have been overrun by shabby houses, etc. So, do I have a multi-key? Need a multi-key. Do I have a... Oh, I do have tech, apparently. So we got primitive tools, hand-carved idol of Holy Emperor, and drinkable engine coolant. Oh, good. Good. You know, you make do with what you've got, I suppose. Oh. Hang on. That's odd. I was trying to move, like, behind or something, I'm not sure. I guess I'll just click on goods. And then we'll see what's going on down here. Alright, who is going to open this? Oh, I think the pathfinding might be squiffy over here. This is an alpha, guys. This is in alpha, so, you know. So what's going on here? Dreadful Xenos. They don't look like Xenos to me. Xenobestus unknownus. Behavior, cruelty, trickery, rampant mating. Habitat void, doesn't need air. Diet rocks, fears the Emperor and fire. What? Okay, so these are just criminals that they're claiming are... I think these might just be criminals that they're claiming are aliens. So they can cage them. Carnival barker. I mean, you would set up a slave carnival, wouldn't you? Of course, it's 40k. So this young man is clearly making every effort to look dapper. His fashionable clothes are practically new and his hair is well groomed. What ruins this impression is the poorly scrubbed off oil stains from his leaky implant, and the fit of the doublet, which was clearly made for someone else. He gives you a beaming smile and says, his voice ringing, "Your ladyship, what an incredible honor! This humble collection is hardly likely to impress you, a rogue trader, conqueror of the stars, but it is the best one on footfall. On footfall, not football. Footfall. Yeah, there's clearly abuse going on. Let's see, what kind of collection is this? Dangerous, vicious, ruthless xenobeasts, caught red-handed as they're attempting to commit evil against the Imperium, but right now they're harmless. Our cages can withstand their rage, but I wouldn't recommend getting too close, haha." These aren't Xenos, they're mutants in makeup. Nice. Man's smile dims only for a moment. "Not Xenos, you say? I'm sure there must be some mistake. I will check the shipping lift myself, rest assured." His words are oozing with greenish-yellow hues. I do not think the promise will be kept. Such entertainment is lucrative, precisely because billions of Imperial subjects have never encountered a Xenos in their life. Ignorance and curiosity create colossal demand. That's what I was taught, and I can see the lesson was truthful. I can buy them, or I just demand the abuse be stopped. The man's cheerfulness fades a little, but he instantly offers you a respectful bow. "As your ladyship wishes, no need to fret. I will release them all immediately." Go, aliens. Go, destroy. Destroy humanity. Eat all of the children.
Follow my lead.
I mean, they've gone without hassle. I'm sure that there'll be some horrible injustice will be done as a result of our actions, because, you know, RPGs, right? They gotta teach us there are consequences to things early. They teach us that being nice isn't necessarily being nice. More coolant, heavy writing primitive tools. Alright, all going in the hold.
Stand in my way.
Okay. Got a guard. Into the Liege's palace. Let's go meet him. I misselected my favourite flask a few days ago. For the life of me, I cannot imagine where it's got to. I wonder, how's one of you purloined it? Good use of the word purloined. Okay. J. Vladim Tukara, the liege. And some guards kicking about. Factory below us. Alright. Very cool portrait. It's kind of like a sort of a grimdark Professor Xavier's. Or just Igor, I don't know. Like a handsome Igor. I have no idea. Anyway, Vladim Tukara, the liege. My patience. You remember the way out. Dismissed. The tall man in austere grey clothes makes a show of looking past the woman he's addressing. Vladim. I don't know actually how to say this. I've been saying Vladim. Vladim. What Archie put such harsh words into your mouth? You talk like you're an Imperial clerk, not one of us. I don't know what one of us means. I don't know what accent that is, but I'm going with it. The woman who is standing with her back to you lets out a ostentatious sigh. Then her tone changes dramatically. The fact she has a portrait like this makes me think that she's going to be a NPC at some point. Well, she's an NPC, a player, you know, a party member. That's what I mean. And change her tone dramatically. Where's my cargo, Vladim? Falco has it, doesn't he? So that's how you do business with old friends these days? Is that what her voice was a second ago? Who can say? Who can say? So, you don't remember. Then the help will remind you. Guards, escort her out. Make her an offer you can't refuse. Yeah, I have no idea where these voices are going, guys. Too many characters, basically, is the problem. Hatery, move. The massive guard leans down to the woman and says in a lowered voice, Jay, get going while he's letting you. Go drown your sorrows at the Amasecus and thank your lucky stars you were able to walk out the door. You won't get the chance next time. First an insult and now threats? I see courtesy and tact are no longer a valued commodity on footfall. Oh well, I find myself a better deal. She turns on her heel and heads towards the exit. Then she passes you by. She gives you a quick once-over, winks at you, then immediately turns away with a flip of her jet black hair. I saw to Vladim. Vladim Tukara, the liege. The tall man, who has long since noticed your presence, is studying you intently. Vladim Tokara, Liege of Footfall. Let us please proceed to my office. A spread befitting a visitor of your rank is waiting. Your entourage will be accommodated nearby. Certainly. Well, I was expecting a well more befitting a visit from a road trader, not a scene. Just immediately demand respect. Because this guy does seem like a total and utter one. My apologies, it was no sign of disrespect towards your esteemed personage. Please allow me to prove it. Items lost, chainsword, plasma pistol, and armored body glove. Wait, what? It was no sign of disrespect, let me prove it, by taking our gloves off. What? Okay, he's taking us to dinner, apparently. While you engage in small talk, you get a chance to take the measure of Liege Takara. His expression is aloof and focused, his gestures curt and firm, and his speech calm and quiet, as though he is used to people always listening to what he says. Judging by his observant gaze, he has been studying you in turn this whole time. Vladim straightens his hair and says in a polite but completely indifferent tone, "Let's talk business. On behalf of the elite of the Footfall Station, I offer you my condolences. Lady von Valancius, we mourn Lady Theodora's loss, and we hope the sentiment is taken as a sign of our good intentions and willingness to cooperate." Thank you, Liege. Terrible loss for all of us. I've heard more sincere expressions of grief. Yeah, let's go with the top one. I hope that under your guidance, the dynasty can recover from this blow and attain even greater power. It was a bold move on your part to announce yourself as the new road trader of the von Valancius dynasty, despite not having his status confirmed by anyone of import from the Imperium. I appreciate such traits in people. It's good to understand who you're dealing with. As you may have noticed, Footfall is currently in a state of crisis. Its people would benefit from patronage of a figure such as yourself. Who was the woman the guards threw out? I was attacked, right to the dogs. It was pathetic. You should have seen it. What kind of criminals do you have here? They all suck. Get better criminals. What sort of patronage did you seek from me? Situation in the region. Who was the one the guards threw out? Vladim's expression hardens. He makes a frustrated gesture. A dead woman walking. However, we still call her Jay Haydari. A small-time hustler with big ambitions that'll lead her to a sticky end. It's strange, a small-time hustler, even a particularly audacious one, wouldn't likely quarrel in public with a figure as important as the Liege of Footfall. What seems stranger still is that the Liege knows this small fry by name. She is irrelevant. Since I am the one in control of the situation on Footfall, I can speak on behalf of all of its noteworthy residents. I was attacked, right at the docks. An outrageous stunt, a show of disrespect for both you and me. Sadly, such incidents on Footfall are akin to natural disasters, impossible to predict or preempt. They simply happen. Many consider Footfall to be a pirate den, but believe me when I say that there is a difference between organized crime and gangs of thugs who have nothing to lose. You were attacked by the latter. The Anvers are a gang of punks who spit on our customs and hierarchy. Even their leader is more akin to an ideologue. A rabble-rouser who shouts, go on, not a commander. Sooner or later we'll find him and have him strung up. That will likely cool his followers' fervor. If only we could find someone who would go into the streets and shout, go on, all the time. But we have terrible hearing. In space, no one can hear you say, go on. It's a real problem. Awareness check succeeded. Behind the carefully built facade of composure, you sense anger. It appears this man is not used to losing control, but that's exactly what is happening. I would like to know more about the Anvers gang. How come they haven't been dealt with yet? Or I'm sorry for the loss of your assistant. He won't care. The negligence with which you do business is insulting for an individual of my stature, or credit him. I can tell they've been a real pain for you. Bet you'd love to gut those jokers, wouldn't you? Come on, admit it. You would, wouldn't you? I love that. A shark-like smile appears on Vladim's face. Bloody and vicious. Back where I grew up, they call it throwing someone for a loop. They carve a particular sign on the person's forehead, then load them alive into the slag disposal chute, then send them out to orbit the station. Every 30 years we clean the orbit and count how many stiffs bearing which signs have been floating around. You have no idea how much I want to throw those little thugs for a loop like in the good old days. Just, everyone sucks. Everyone's so horrible in this universe. It's, yeah, it's good that we get to, like, run around like a cowboy and, you know, blast people with boiling hot, superheated plasma, you know? So, what's the situation in the region? Troubling. Xenos raids are growing more frequent, trade is suffering, and fringe worlds are going under. Rumors of atrocities being committed by enemies of humanity are causing excessive panic due to their exotic nature. The core of the Imperium forces in the Cronus Expanse. So we have a mission now, or rumor, I think. There's a bunch of different journal entries. There's stuff like there's actual like mission objectives. There's rumors as well. So like they may or may not be true, which I think is kind of cool. So I like that. That's fun. So it's just like leads to follow. It might be the rumors are true, or it might be like something else is going on, or nothing. I have no idea. We'll find out, but I'm intrigued to find out. I've heard rumors about what rumors are, so, you know, that's where we are at this point. The core of the Imperium force in the Cronus Expanse has departed for the sector's borders to combat the Xenos threat. There's been no word from them for a while now. Then again, with the distance and the current issues with astropaths, that is not entirely out of the ordinary. Still, we're not alone. From several of the worlds hit by Xenos attacks, we received reports of fierce warriors who descended from the sky and entered the fray. The fragmentary accounts lead me to believe that the blessed Adeptus Astartes are operating the Corona's Expanse, and I await news of their victories with great anticipation. Have been any Xenos attacks on Footfall? No, there haven't. Attacking Footfall in general is not a particularly reasonable thing to do. Many ships are docked here at any given time, and should any problems arise, we will simply load ourselves onto them and disappear, leaving the invaders with nothing but barren rock. They wouldn't dare attack. We'd run away so good. For us here, Xenos are more than a source of income than a threat. He freezes, gauging your reaction. Heresy! I do not approve of fear of xenotech. One must know and understand the enemy. We talk about xeno artifacts here? I want some. You should consider your words more carefully, in which that sounds dangerously close to heresy. There's no shame in selling one's trophies for profit. I'll naturally find this utterly unacceptable and have no desire to speak about this, but my seneschal is a good listener. Lay your disgraceful gossip on him. No, let's go with, one must know and understand the enemy. I'm convinced that your connections with Footfall will allow you to broaden your knowledge and understanding of Xenos considerably. I will see to it that your curiosity is satisfied in every way. Every way? What sort of patronage do you seek from me? Protection. Not military protection, but a different kind of security. You have, of course, already encountered difficulties with warp navigation on your way here. I'm afraid the scope of these difficulties extends far beyond this area. Reports of disrupted routes and ships vanishing during short jumps are coming in from across the entire sector. Communication with the Calixus sector has been extremely unstable. Of the ships that have dived into the Maw in recent years, the Maw, a turbulent region of space that divides the Corona's Expanse from the rest of the Imperium of Man. None have yet returned. The visits we've had from the other side have also been suspiciously few in number. The last ship that came through the Maw was struck by a temporal anomaly. The jump took almost 2 decades in real space-time. Officers from Port Wonder, where you still have contacts from your days in the Navy, often talk about the whims of the Maw. The only route from the Imperium to the Corona's Expanse, warp storms would at times seal the sole available path for years. And so it is impossible to predict how long this new crisis might last. And this brings us to our main issue. Footfall is a repair shipyard and a trading post. We barely produce anything ourselves, and we are largely dependent on incoming shipments, especially food shipments. The station naturally has some reserves, but the supply issues didn't start yesterday. Footfall would be obliged if House von Valentius would assist us by signing a contract for food deliveries. I can't be the only one who've asked for help. Naturally, I've tried contacting other rogue traders, but the terms of House Corda would have bled Footfall dry. And as for the esteemed Caligos Winterscale, instead of a food shipment from him, I received a transport, the Navika, packed with refugees. I had to send them off to Falstone. So many extra mouths to feed would have worsened the crisis further. I suppose these warp fluctuations must have created more pressing concerns for Lord Winterscale. And so I put my faith in you, the third and last of Footfall's allies. So Footfall is cut off from all of its shipments, the local gangs are running wild, local hustlers are throwing tantrums in your residence. Are you positive you're in control of the situation? You are very perceptive. Yes, and handsome. Well, now you know what you're buying. The situation is difficult, but should you decide to offer your support, you'll forget about the existence of trading hubs other than Footfall, because you won't have more loyal friends anywhere else. What are the terms? It's simple. Delivery of food shipments from your fertile worlds. Janus, I imagine. I'm quite familiar with that jewel of Divine Valencia's empire, in exchange for fair treatment. Get on your knees and ask properly, then I will help. Oh, I just love the audacity. Like, the fact that you can be, like, so... I can't even think of the word. Just... despotic. It's fantastic. It's so fun. You can really just, like... I mean, look at us. Look at us. We're basically dressed like Napoleon. But, like, a fancy Napoleon. Not normal plebby Napoleon. No. Like... Napoleon with a glow-up. It's insane. It's so silly. So, getting these doors properly, payment will be unfair, as I will be robbing you blind. But you will remain in charge. Do we have a deal? Incredible. Very well, I'll help you with food shipments. I will help Footfall, but not desire for profit. I have no interest in obtaining any favours in kind or becoming your patron, only in saving people's lives. Oh, I won't help you. Deal with your problems yourselves. Oh god, I'm so tempted just to be a total... complete and utter one. God, I have no idea. I mean, the guy is clearly a jerk. So do we meet him in kind? Get on your knees. Amazing. Vladim's eyes narrow as he gives you a calm, appraising look, then kneels. His body, unaccustomed to such displays of obedience, moves slowly, as if the air has suddenly grown thick. If this is the price for the station's prosperity, I will pay it. Alright, I'd like to know more about the Anvers gang. How come they've been dealt with? I've been using all my resources to delay the moment when the station is hit by famine. I haven't gotten around to the Anvers yet. As detrimental as they are, they're no players. The leader is more of a troublemaker than a gang leader with a plan and ambitions. They don't issue orders, they merely incite slaughter and robberies. And that means less mouths to feed. When that void rat dies, the rest will scatter. Alright. Where does one go to make a few deals here on the station? Here, I'm the main dealer on the station. It would be disrespectful of me to suggest that you will take your business to Footfall traders of lesser importance. Still, you might take an interest in a few people of note. For example, Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, the servant of the Ecclesiarchy, is rumored to purchase sacred relics from captains, and other traders don't seem keen on becoming his competitors. If you're looking for goods that can entertain you, find Octaviana at the establishment called the Adeptus Amosecus. Amosecus, space wine. I don't. Is Amosec a real drink? Because it's basic. I'm not sure it's actually wine. I think it might be like more like a brandy or something. I think it gets compared to a few different real world drinks. But anyway, the chemical bliss that she offers is refined and possesses a satisfactory degree of purity. Just don't ask her to pour you her signature drink. It's meant for common Footfall rabble, not discerning clientele. Alright. Let me see your wares. I'm at your service. You can spend the most generous discounts. Elite chainsword. Hoo-hoo. Hoo-hoo. We have no money. Hoo-hoo. So this can get us some PF. Which goes up over time. You know, per cycle. That's like per a year? I don't know. I'm assuming that we can put our recovery speed up for this stuff. I'm assuming. Oh, we haven't put the pneumo boots on. We should do that. I mean, I can sell a sword, but it's not worth anything. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's us done. Although, nope, nothing to sell. Well, that's that then. Bye. That was worthwhile. Okay. I guess we're off. I'm not really sure where. Interesting. I mean, I guess we'll go talk to Hieronymus. Oh, okay, here's probably our next story hook, right? So, a well-groomed young man calls out to you. He's clean-shaven and dressed in clothes that are expensive but unshowy, with a bright aquila embroidered on a prominent spot. That's the two-headed eagle, you know, symbol of the Imperium. That's the aquila, actually, right on the floor, right there. Your ladyship, I humbly ask for a moment of your time. I am Bastian in Drama Bastal Corda, youngest cousin of House Corda, envoy of Incendia Bastal Corda. The rogue trade of the Crone's expands by the grace of the most holy emperor. You're starting to sound a bit like that priest guy at the end there. Did you notice that? Abelard. Corda, huh? They're some of the most influential rogue traders in the Corona's expanse, but not on footfall. This station is under the control of House Winterscale. Something tells me that we're about to hear the most curious offer. Says Abelard under his breath so that only you can hear him. Honest. He definitely wasn't loud on that. What did you wish to speak to me about? A matter of utmost delicacy, you see. You've been to the residence of the Liege. Vladimir almost certainly appealed to you for assistance in the arrangement of shipments to Footfall. The von Valancius trade empire is famed for the abundance of its main agri-world, Janus. Agri-world being an agricultural world. I mean, it's not really a dedicated entirely to produce agricultural... like, that feels intuitive to me, but fine. It could be aggravating people world. Could be that. It would be odd for him not to seize on such an opportunity when Footfall is on the verge of famine. It's true. It's true. However, the Corda dynasty pursues its own interest in Footfall. We have already announced our terms to the Liege, but he is stalling. I imagine in the hopes of getting a better offer from you. The Corda dynasty believes. Bastian smiles and gives a slight shrug. That cooperation would be preferable for both rogue trader houses. If you refuse Vladimir, thereby forcing him to agree to a deal with us, the Corda dynasty can promise you a share of the profits from the future contract, as well as certain other perquisites? Yes, perquisites. Everybody benefits. The Emperor's most loyal servants would be more concerned with carrying his will through the stars and less divvying up profit amongst themselves. Argenta says disapprovingly, but quiet enough as not to interrupt negotiations, especially when the well-being of the Imperial world is at stake. Even one such as Footfall. Even one like this pit. Behind your smile, Master Bastian, teal shadows swell. Others may not see them, but your worry cannot escape my eye. What are you afraid of? Your house's wrath? Should these negotiations prove fruitless, or the wrath of House von Valancius? Adira, who was yawning in boredom a moment ago, flinches and clutches her face, her fingernails digging into her skin. They're coming! Again! Brothers are the ones who came before. I just don't get it. Do they all have a death wish? So... I appreciate the warning. I wonder if maybe, right, at certain points of the game, we won't have her in the party, and so we would just be carrying on the conversation. Because I find it really weird that we get the option just to, like, carry on chatting when a bunch of people are about to jump us. So I assume this sort of stops it from us from having, like, a surprise round, where they get to act before we're added to the initiative tracker. You know, they get a turn, and then it's initiative is normal, after they all get to shoot us. So yeah, I guess we'll draw a weapon. I appreciate the warning, Adira. What? Bastian stares at you in surprise, then turns around. And gets shot. Death to off-worlders! Oh my god, he shot him in half. Like, you had a warning. Well, that's very awkward, isn't it? But, hey, another combat. Another combat. And do you know what I love about this so far? Is all of the... Well, I say all. Both of the combats have just sort of sprung as a result of story taking place. We haven't just been put in, like, a field full of enemies in little groups clustered all over a map that we're exploring, you know? Like, it's story-driven, which I really like. Big fan of that. I'm sure there'll be some more, like, arena-style areas, more sort of dungeon areas. But, yeah, I like that combat is limited in it. It feels more limited, anyway, than it did in Pathfinder, which is nice, because this is purely turn-based now. So they don't need to just fill the game with as many encounters as possible. So, yeah, this is all really promising. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. And we're going to carry on playing this until we reach whatever end point the alpha has. I don't know if I doubt it's the whole game. The prologue's not even in the game yet. So it's probably just this chapter. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing with you guys. We're going to end the episode here, though. So if you enjoyed this, comment, like, subscribe. And stay tuned for more of this. Exclusively more, you know, predominantly more blasting this guy in the face. I think that'll be something to look forward to. That guy looks like a real dick. Anyway, catch you tomorrow. Laters.